Students from Paul VI, Fauquier, Quince Orchard meet today on It's Academic. Hello, everybody. I'm Hillary Howard. Welcome to It's Academic, the world's longest-running TV quiz show produced by Altman Productions in association with David M. Rubenstein Productions.
Support for It's Academic has been provided by the following. MITRE, a not-for-profit research and development company working in the public interest.
What happens when the right people connect? Diversity challenges convention. Mentors inspire greatness. And passions drive innovation. From health to transportation and national security, cyber and AI, to space and back, MITRE connects the power of government, academia, and industry to meet our nation's challenges. Together, MITRE connects.
Hello, everybody. It is so good to see you. We're going to begin with the fast start where questions are worth 10 points up or down. First team to buzz in gets to answer. I know you know that, and the contestants don't see what you do on the screens at home. Let's begin. All answers here will begin with the letters P-E-N. That's P as in Paul, E-N. Graphite makes up the inner core of this writing. Fauquier.
Pencil.
Correct. This eastern U.S. state was settled by Paul VI.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah. There's a large naval base in this northwest. Yes, Fauquier.
Pensacola.
Correct. This is the NHL team from Pittsburgh. Quince Orchard.
Pirates.
No, Penguins. This is another word for prison. Yes, Fauquier. The answer is penitentiary. A solid with 5 faces has, Quince Orchard?
Pentagon.
We're going for tetrahedron is this geometric term. This is an employee retirement fund from which, yes, Fauquier?
Pension.
Correct. He immediately preceded Kamala Harris as vice, Quince Orchard.
Pence.
Pence is right. This word means next to last. Quince Orchard.
Penultimate.
That is right. Abraham Lincoln's profile appears on this smallest denomination, Paul VI.
Penny.
Penny is right, and that is the end of the fast start. It was fast. Let's take a look at these scores. Paul VI, 120 points. Fauquier, 120 points. Quince Orchard, 100 points. All right, let's meet these teams. We begin with Paul VI, and the first person we get to introduce you to is Ethan. Hiya, Ethan.
Hi,
How
I'm
are you?
Ethan Mills, and I'm a junior at Paul VI Catholic High School, and I like to play soccer.
What do you like about playing soccer?
I like the team aspect of it, and I like to shoot the ball.
What position do you play?
Anywhere in the midfield.
All right, well, it's good to have you, Ethan. Hello, Christopher.
I'm a junior at Paul VI, and I really love learning about military history and politics and also biology.
Wow, so which part of military history and politics really kind of jazzes you?
Like 1800s, 1900s, but also ancient and modern. It
All
varies.
right, good to have you, Christopher, and yet another Ethan on the team. Hi.
Hi, I'm Ethan. I'm a sophomore at Paul VI Catholic High School, and I'm really getting into chess at the moment.
Ah, have you just begun or have you been playing chess for a while?
I've been playing chess for a while, but I've been starting to get more into it now.
Are you learning all the different names for the different opens and all that
Yes.
sort of stuff? Cool, good to have you. And now I have some questions. Amaze brave hero. Instead of amazing a hero, see if you can find hidden in this phrase the name of what African equine animal?
Zebra?
Zebra it is. Ignoring them, visiting them, placating them. If you were mollifying your neighbors, you'd be taking which of these actions?
Placating them.
Yes. The agora was a Greek market, but by filling in the blanks, you can name what ancient Greek mathematician known for his theorem about right triangles?
Pythagoras.
Yeah. A fruit market, a garage, a zoo. At which of these places would you most appropriately expect to see an aardvark?
Zoo.
Zoo is right. I am certain I was born standing at attention. This is a quote from the son of what World War II general who was elected president in 1952?
Eisenhower's son.
I'm sorry?
Eisenhower's son.
No, are you saying Eisenhower's son?
Eisenhower.
Eisenhower. Oh, very good. Yes, that is right. Paul VI, 220 points. Now to the team from Fauquier High School in Warrenton, Virginia. Jake, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Tell us about yourself.
I'm a 17-year-old senior. I play tennis and the piano, and in my free time I like to fly.
Fly how? Like fly planes?
Yes, fly planes.
Wow. How long have you been doing that?
So my dad has been flying his life, so I've been flying with him, but I just got my pilot's license this summer.
Congratulations. You're young, right, to get your
Yes,
pilot's license?
yes.
Awesome. People must be pretty impressed. Like, wait a second, you're getting in that plane and flying? Good to have you, Jake. Hiya, David.
Hi, I'm David. I'm the captain of this team and a 17-year-old senior, and I'm also a volunteer EMT.
Tell us about that.
I've been riding on ambulances after I got my EMT license, and my favorite part has to be the adrenaline rush.
Besides the adrenaline rush, why do you do it? What do you get out of it personally?
I enjoy helping members of the community that need help.
That's beautiful. By the way, everybody, firefighters, EMTs, police, they need recruits, right? They're short-staffed. Yeah, so good for you, David. Nice to have you. Hiya, Charlotte.
Hi. I'm Charlotte Funkhauser. I'm a 17-year-old senior from Fauquier High School, and I'm really invested in the music program.
The music program, what aspect of the music program?
I take guitar. I play trombone in the wind ensemble. I'm in the steel pans class.
Oh, that's awesome. So there aren't too many women trombone players.
No, there aren't.
So do you stand out? People are like, wow.
When I joined in 6th grade, there was, I believe, 14 of us. I was the only one.
Well, cool. All right, guys, I've got some questions. A cap is a hat. Look at this sentence and see if you can find the name of what Italian city with a famous leaning tower.
Pisa.
Yes. Antonym, homonym, pseudonym. Which of these three words refers to a pen name?
Pseudonym?
Yeah. K is the symbol for potassium, but it appears in the name of what metallic element whose symbol is Ni?
Nickel?
Yeah. General Assembly, Security Council, International Court. In which one of these organs of the United Nations does the United States have veto power?
The Security Council.
Correct. Thou art a monster. Prosecutors often get a little carried away. This quote is from the trial of what English courtier and explorer for whom North Carolina's capital is named?
Sir Walter Raleigh.
You are right, Fauquier High School, 220 points. And now to Prince Orchard High School from Gaithersburg, Maryland. Hiya, Evan.
Hi.
Tell us what's going on with you.
I'm a junior. I'm a 17-year-old junior. I like history and literature, and excited to be on a TV show today.
We're glad you're here. So what area of history do you prefer?
I like a lot of ancient history stuff, but I study a lot more modern or world history too.
Do you find parallels between what's happened in the ancient past historically and the contemporary world?
Sometimes, but less than some people like to imagine.
All right. Well, very good. Thank you so much, Evan. Hi, Drew.
Hello.
So, what should we know about you?
I'm a junior, and I like to make video games.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of video games?
Right now, I'm working on a management simulator with a visual novel element. There is a set of classes at my school all about game design.
And is it hard to do?
Not really. It just takes a lot of time.
Uh-huh.
So
Now-
you have to have the commitment to finish.
Which you apparently have, and you apparently are committed. Your family is committed to It's Academic because not only are you on the show, your dad was on the show, and your great uncle was on the show.
Yep.
Tell me about that.
So I knew my dad was on the show for a long time because he talked about it. Some of his friends were also on the show. And then about 6 months ago, I also learned that my great uncle was on the show. So yeah.
You come from a family of smart dudes.
Yes.
And women, I'm sure.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you, Drew. Hi, Dominic.
Hello, I'm a 17-year-old senior at Quince Orchard, and I'm very interested in both politics and geography.
Which do you prefer, if one over the other?
Probably like the intersection of both of them.
Yeah, it's fascinating because the first time you look at a map, you really begin to understand history in a different way, right?
Yeah.
Where the mountains are, and yeah. All right, guys, here's your first question. Bear Cub Alley. Leave bear cubs alone and see if you can find here the hidden name of what island country, the largest in the Caribbean.
Cuba.
Yep. Unchangeable, dangerous, awkward. Something that is immutable can best be described by which of these adjectives?
Unchangeable.
Unchangeable is right. All the vowels are missing from the name of what Italian scientist associated with the number of molecules in the mole of a substance?
Avogadro?
Yeah. Kalahari, Gobi, Mojave. Which of these deserts is in the United States?
Yeah.
Correct.
Mojave.
That's it. The nearest approach to immortality on Earth is a government bureaucracy. This was the observation of James Burns, who in the 1940s held what senior cabinet post today filled by Antony Blinken?
Secretary of State.
Secretary of State.
You are right. Nicely done, Quince Orchard. 200 points. That does it for the mix and match round. We've got some pictures for you.
I'm David Rubenstein. From the Kennedy Center and the National Archives to the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument, I've been pleased to support many important organizations and historic sites linked to American history, art, culture, education, and more. I believe giving back to our country isn't just an idea, it's an action, a patriotic action that involves all of us. And it begins with education and learning about our nation's past so that we, the people, can make a more perfect union for the future. We can do it together. Please read, learn, get involved, and make a difference.
Hey, we've got the picture perfect round for you now, where questions are worth 20 points up or down. Once again, first team to buzz in gets to answer. Teams. Among the paintings by 19th century artist Albert Bierstadt, this is a California scene of what giant majestic trees?
Redwood.
You are right. Any dangerous spot is tenable if brave men make it so. This is a quote from what 20th century president who wrote Profiles in Courage? Quince Orchard. Answer? In 3, 2, 1.
FDR.
No, it's John F. Kennedy. These are some of the 260 stained glass windows that grace Turkey's Blue Mosque. Quince Orchard.
Istanbul, maybe?
Istanbul.
Yes, you are right.
Yes.
What is the sum of the roots of this polynomial? Quince Orchard. Answer? In 3, 2,
6.
1. Nope, -3. The blue here symbolizes the ocean on the flag of Quince Orchard. Answered in 3. Bahamas is right. This is rhodochrosite, a carbonate of what element whose chemical symbol is Mn? Paul VI.
Manganese.
Yes, you're right. Anna Murray helped plan the escape of what slave who used his newspaper, the North Star? Quince Orchard. In 3, 2, 1. Frederick Douglass is right. Rugged scenery surrounds what large Russian lake said to be the deepest in the world? Paul.
Lake Baikal.
You are right. This is the flag of what large African nation? Paul.
Nigeria.
You are right again. Though called a maple leaf, these shells weren't found in Canada. Go ahead, Paul. Pardon me?
Conch shell.
No, Indian Ocean we were looking for, and that is the end of the round. Let's take a look at those scores. Paul VI, 260 points. Fauquier, 240 points. Quince Orchard, 220 points. So, you know, these kids don't do it alone. They have a real team at their schools that prepare them for It's Academic, and we're going to meet them. We begin with Paul VI. Christopher, tell us who's with you.
I'd like to thank Dr. Offer, who is our principal, our head of school, Mrs. Swenson, and our alternative, Indra, who is, I'm glad she came out here in this stormy weather and is here to support us and be ready.
Wonderful. Tell us about your coach.
Dr. Campbell teaches history, and he's been at PVI for a long time.
Good guy?
Yep, definitely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Great to have you. And
Great
we're
coach.
really glad you're here. Over to Fauquier and David, who's with you?
We have Dr. Croft with us today, our coach, as well as our alternate, Dean Rose. And we'd like to dedicate today to our principal, Mr. Kelkin, who recently passed away.
Oh, we're so sorry to hear that. Do tell us a little bit about your principal who passed.
He was the most wonderful man, and his loss left a gaping hole in our local community.
Are you guys beginning to fill it in some way, or is it still just you're shell-shocked?
The grief is still there.
Well, our condolences to you and your school and your community, and it's good to have you and, of course, your team as well. Over to Quince Orchard. Hi, you Drew.
I would like to thank our coach, Mr. Schumann, who teaches AP NSL and personal finance. And I would like to thank our principal, Ms. Thomas, and our alternate, Stephen.
Great. What makes a good coach, Drew?
One thing Mr. Schumann does is he like pauses when we're doing practice and when he wants us to answer. So that's a nice thing he does that like prompts us about when we should know the answer, and also just being available to help us.
Yeah, supportive, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you and your coaches and administrators are here. And now it is time for the packet round. In this round, as you guys know all too well, questions are worth 20 points, nothing off for a wrong answer. If you get all of the questions right, there is a bonus. Yes. Now, I have these 3 beautiful packets for all of you. Paul VI, you get to answer questions for one of them first. Fakir, you get to choose which of these packets they answer questions from.
3.
3. Ready for packet 3, guys? Here we go. The completion of the Transcontinental Telegraph Line in 1861 ended what horseback postal service that had extended from Missouri to California?
Pony Express.
Yeah. Luther Burbank, who developed a wide variety of fruits and flowers, also developed a less spiny version of what desert plant noted for its prickliness?
Cactus?
Yes. After writing The Lord of the Rings, Tolkien announced that his future books would not feature what sort of halfling, such as Bilbo or Frodo?
Hobbits.
Hobbits is right. Here's your science question. Beam of electrons, X-rays, stream of photons. Which of these describes the beta rays emitted by radioactive substances?
Beam of electrons.
You're right. Aware that he had made a few personal enemies over the years, a personal bodyguard of 1,000 men was created for what great Mongol conqueror who died in 1227?
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan, it is. Literary analysts still don't know exactly when Samuel Clemens started using what 2-word pen name by which he is best known?
Mark Twain.
Yeah. Math question. Please perform the indicated operation.
9.
9 is right. 15 British ships were captured or sunk by the Providence, a ship commanded by what American Revolutionary War hero who later captained the Bonhomme Richard?
John Paul Jones.
John Paul Jones is right. And with that, you get a 25-point bonus. Paul VI, way to go. Nicely done. All right, Fakir, you're up. Quince Orchard, will it be packet number 1 or packet number 2?
2.
2. In 1934, Babe Ruth joined other American baseball players at exhibition games in what Asian nation where baseball is now as popular as sumo wrestling?
Japan.
Yes. The New York Times ran a 4.5-page obituary in 1931 to mark the death of what inventor of the incandescent light bulb?
Edison.
Yes, it's Edison. Cattle bellow and move their feet wider apart when they sense the approach of what sort of seismic event measured on the Richter scale?
Earthquakes.
Yeah, here's your science question. Desalinization, desiccation, hydrolysis. Which of these 3 terms best describes the breaking apart of a molecule by the addition of water?
Hydrolysis.
Correct. Astronomers once thought there was a small planet between Mercury and the Sun and named it for what Roman god of the forge, similar to the Greek Hephaestus?
Vulcan?
Yeah, you got it. A contest between friends to determine who could write the best horror story was won by Mary Shelley with what tale about a scientist who creates a monster?
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Yes, here's your math question. Simplify this expression, giving your answer as a positive integer.
3.
3 it is. A motorcycle accident claimed the life of what English adventurer who had ridden a camel while leading the Arabs in revolt against the Turks?
T.E. Lawrence.
You are right. We have got another 25-point bonus. Way to go, Fakir High School. 425 points. Nice. Quince Orchard. In 1967, the National Aeronautic Association gave its Wright Brothers Trophy to Igor Sikorsky, who had developed what type of aircraft, such as the Black Hawk or Apache?
Spy plane? Spy plane?
Shuttle.
No, it's helicopter.
Oh, okay.
One of the documents preserved at the National Archives is what proclamation that Abraham Lincoln issued on January 1st.
Emancipation?
Yes, Emancipation Proclamation. In Egyptian art, the god Osiris was usually depicted wearing plumes from what largest flightless bird?
Ostrich.
Yep, that's it. Here's your science question. coma, solar wind, gravitational pulsation. Which of these terms refers to a hazy cloud of gas and dust that surrounds the nucleus or core of a comet?
Gravitational, comma.
Yep, that's it. From 1879 till 1884, the War of the Pacific pitted the forces of Peru and Bolivia against the army of what long, narrow country to their
Chile.
south? Chile is correct. In one Edgar Allan Poe story, a murderer is driven to confess by a mysterious sound that he thinks is the beating of what telltale bodily organ?
Heart.
Telltale heart is right. Here's your math question. Solve 4x.
So it's 4.
Four, yeah.
4.
4 it is. What British compass direction names the British Prime Minister who moved in the wrong direction in 1773 when dealing with the American colonies?
West, east.
East.
Nope, it is north. Quince Orchard, 340 points, and that does it for the packet round. You know what's next. It's the grab bag. See you in a minute.
Hello, I'm David Rubenstein. Did you know some jellyfish have 4 brains and 24 eyes? 8 of those eyes can form images and 2 can see colors. I'm David Rubenstein, reminding you to read, learn, get involved, and make a difference.
It's time for the grab bag round. In this round, questions are worth 20 points up or down, and as you know, audience, anything can happen. Here's the first question. You would end up with thousands of books if you were to print out all the entries in what online encyclopedia started by Paul?
Wikipedia?
Wikipedia it is, though it's harmless. Pennsylvania's state tree shares what name with the poison used when Socrates was forced to commit? Quince Orchard.
Hemlock.
Hemlock is right. Choice. Which of these elements is commonly found in the tip of a match? Bismuth, phosphorus, bakir.
Magnesium.
No, it's phosphorus. On your screens. The toast, Our Country, Right or Wrong, was made by what War of 1812 American naval hero whose picture you see, Paul VI? Answer.
Perry?
No, Stephen Decatur. You might say many happy returns if you were to give someone what small curved throwing implement developed by Quince Orchard.
Boomerang.
Boomerang is right. In 1914, a company paid $25,000 for the right to film what Mexican bandit and revolutionary? Yes, Quince Orchard.
Pancho Villa.
Yeah. If the area of a square is 900 square inches, what is the length of a side in inches? Yes, Paul VI.
30.
30 is right. On your screens. Future ages will wonder at us. This statement was uttered 24 centuries ago by what Greek statesman who ruled Athens during its golden age? And Paul VI.
Pericles.
Pericles it is. When Ernest Hemingway wrote A Farewell to Arms, he drew on his own wartime experience as Quince Orchard.
World War I.
No, ambulance. He drove an emergency vehicle. In 1862, the magazine Atlantic Monthly. That is the end of the game. We'll have the finalized scores for you in just one moment, so please stay where you are.
I'm David Rubenstein, and I believe giving back is something we all can do. Many students are getting involved in their communities in important ways. I've asked them to share with us how they're making a difference.
My name is Ava Tariki, and I'm a junior at Independence High School. I give back to my community through volunteering with a local nonprofit called Peers and Students Taking Action, or PASTA. PASTA's vision is changing the way the world cares, which we accomplish through service-based volunteering. Our groups of members work together using their shared passions and interests to identify and solve problems that are facing our community. PASTA supports families by running food drives, providing tutoring services, and running mental health programs. I'm really passionate about the work that I do with PASTA because I believe that we are stronger together, and it is so important to lift each other up.
Like these students, you too can help improve the lives of so many people by volunteering in your town and community. Please read, learn, get involved, and make a difference.
All right, the scores are now official. We begin with Quince Orchard High School from Gaithersburg, Maryland. Evan Drew Dominic, 380 points. From Fauquier High School in Warrenton, Jake David Charlotte, 405 points. Way to go, guys. And coming back for the playoffs, Paul VI from Chantilly, Ethan Christopher, and Ethan, 485 points. That was a really competitive game. We will be right back.
Support for It's Academic has been provided by the following: MITRE, a not-for-profit research and development company working in the public interest.
What happens when the right people connect? Diversity challenges convention. Mentors inspire greatness. And passions drive innovation. From health to transportation and national security, cyber and AI, to space and back, MITRE connects the power of government, academia, and industry to meet our nation's challenges. Together, MITRE connects.
We are so happy that you joined us today for It's Academic. I'm Hillary Howard. See you next time, everybody. Bye. Say bye, everybody. Bye.